So welcome everyone to our Coffee with the Chief. We're here on our Wednesday with, usually we have something to drink. Today I decided not to have anything to drink because I've had enough coffee already. So I'm here. I'm Nuri Suseta. I'm the Family and Community Engagement Manager with Network 8. And I'll go ahead and introduce some of our colleagues here today. We have with us our Chief of Schools.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. I did decide to have something to drink. I've been drinking some water because I've been drinking a lot of tea, but I'm going with my water today. So I do hope you have something to drink, if not something that you might be munching on as we go through today's slides. And so I will let Nudis go to the next.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Alvarez. We also have our Family Engagement Coordinator out of the Office of Early Childhood with us today.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome. My name is Claudia Ballesteros, and I'm the Family Engagement Coordinator.
Thanks, Claudia. And as always, we have our wonderful executive assistant / producer, Andrea Aguilera Villalobos, who is helping us with our PowerPoint here today, as well as with our questions from the chat. Just wanted to remind you all that you can always ask questions in the chat throughout today's presentation. Today, we are going to be talking about, we could go to the agenda. We are going to be talking about grades. So that's going to be the topic for today. We will begin with a roll call, followed by the purpose of these coffees, and then followed by a couple of reminders that we like to keep sharing with you all to keep them on the back of your mind, followed by the presentation and discussion around grades by Dr. Alvarez, and then we will finish off with our question and answers portion of our coffee today. Dr. Alvarez?
Yep. So for those of you who have joined us, you may already know what we were going to ask you, but if you could please enter your school name in the chat on the right, please enter it there. But we're going to ask you, as usual, another question. Tell us, what was your favorite grade subject? This will get us started when we talk about grades for the fourth quarter. So I'll give you examples are on the side: Hamline Math, Brighton Park Social Studies. So I'm going to go ahead and give you an example here. I'm just going to put where I'm from, Network 8, and I'm going to say science. I'm going to wait to see what kind of favorite subjects, favorite grade. And if it's not, you could say none. All of them, math, social studies, 6th grade. Yep. Thank you, Maria.
We have some other folks on there. Janet, we have, did Linda put something on there already? No, we're waiting on Linda, Eva.
This is allows us to see what's going on. Art. Thank you, Janet. Oh, no problem, Linda. Are you're obviously, it says, I don't have Facebook. Oh, no, this is not on Facebook, so it's a Google Hangout. But thank you for joining us, and math is your subject. And if you could, Linda, if you could also provide us with the school that your children are at, or which one you're affiliated with, that'd be great. Sawyer, awesome, thank you.
Great. So it looks like most of us have shared there for now. So yep. Thank you for that, Dr. Alvarez.
No problem. Thank you, guys. All right. So I want to remind everyone about our purpose here. This came about for every week, truly just to provide you all with resources, to make sure we're there to support you and answer questions. And it started off because of remote learning, but there may be other questions that are coming about as we complete the school year. And so this is why we are doing this every Wednesday at 3 o'clock in English and 4 o'clock in Spanish if you have friends. But we're also counting on you to let your friends know that they could always see past ones or see a recording on this, and that would be on YouTube. And Nudis will share a little bit more about that on YouTube. We could go to the next slide. I want to remind everyone about our CPS vision. What we are doing now is really explaining that this is about academic progress. We want to continue our high quality instruction for all of our students. We want to make sure that they're still getting connection with a talented and empowered teacher, and making sure that we have transparency when it comes to integrity for each and every one of our parents, and that our schools are connecting with all of you. Our Network 8 vision has been bringing a sense of belonging to every school and every child. This is one way that we hope that you feel that you're part of our family, part of our Network 8 family, to say that we're here for you. Whatever you need, we could go ahead and provide the support. And Nudies, can you tell us a little bit about YouTube?
Yes. So when you are in these meetings, we record them, not to record you or your face or anything, but just to record the content so that when people miss the meeting, they're still able to get the information that we share with you all here. So we have our very own YouTube channel. It's called the Network 8 Ensemble. And so if you look it up on YouTube, we are able to see the past coffees that we have had. And so you can just go on there and go to the YouTube channel and click see the dates. So today's would be the one for May 6th, and that is where you would find the content, and you'll find the English and the Spanish videos on there as well. Those are usually posted by the end of the week, latest Saturday. So some of the topics that we have talked about, the first one was more of an introduction of who we are, and then we kind of showed a little presentation. Claudia showed us how to log into our Google Classroom. Followed by that, we had a conversation about how to submit our work in our Google Classroom or with our packets. To our schools. How do we get in contact with them, and how do we submit our work in order to receive feedback, and also to make sure that we're being engaging in this time. Followed by that, last week we talked a little bit about our diverse learner supports that we have here. We have some resources online that we shared. We also had our colleagues from the Office of Diverse Learner Supports on the call to talk about some strategies that you can use with your diverse learners at home. So those were just some of the topics that we have talked about in the past. And today we're going to be talking about grades in particular for the fourth quarter, but in general, if anybody has questions about grades.
And we have about 5 more to go of these. So I just want to let you know, we have, these are our 4 that we just have done, and about 5 more Wednesdays that we will be continuing to do this.
Thank you. So we also have some virtual resources that we would like to share with you. Claudia, if you don't mind sharing with our families, what are some of the resources that we have to offer now during this time?
Yes, so parents could log into cps.edu/coronavirus, and they will be able to find some enrichment activities. If you see that your child has finished some of the assignments that the teachers are assigning or sending them via Classroom, Class Dojo, here's other resources that you could download, print, or you could get more ideas around activities that you could do around this time. If you have any problems with technology, we have a parent technical support hotline. You could always call 773-417-1060, and they're open from 7:30 to 4:30. And just keep in mind that they're only open during school days, so Monday through Friday. And last week, we had ODLSS provide great resources for our diverse learners. And you could find some FAQs and more activities for our diverse learners at cps.edu/diverse learners.
Thanks, Claudia. So that is just great information to have in the back of your head, or if somebody asks you, another parent, you can share that with them. Now we're going to get into our bulk of our presentation, which is in regards to fourth quarter grades. Dr. Alvarez?
Teachers are going to continue providing grades for any child who they have contact with, which is one thing. They're able to talk to them, and they're able to actually have some engagement with them. So if they're turning in assignments, if they're on the Google Classroom, if they are getting feedback from the teacher, those children will receive a letter grade. Now, the letter grade will happen if they receive a higher grade than third quarter. So there's a difference there. Grades are coming in as regularly as fourth quarter. By the time this summative grade comes out, if it is lower than third quarter, then the teacher will then give it a pass, which is a P. They will only enter a grade if it's higher. So let me give you an example. If in third quarter a child receives a C, then in fourth quarter, if all the assignments that were turned in, they received a B or an A, the teacher will give them a B or an A. But if the third quarter they received a C, and fourth quarter comes and all of a sudden they're getting a D based on the assignments, the teacher will not put a D on there and instead will put a P. And so I just want to be very clear about that. Any child that has contact and engagement with the teacher will either get a letter grade or a P for pass. Those are the most important ones. The incomplete, the slash, will only happen if the child has no engagement with the teacher, if the child is not turning anything in, they're not doing any access to digital instruction whatsoever, or if they received an F, which is less than they received third quarter, then they would get a slash, okay? And that child will then be prioritized for summer school. So I need to be very clear about this. Make sure your children are having some type of contact with teachers and engagement, trying their best to get digital instruction going on, because then they would not have to do any summer school. It's very important that we're very clear about that. Tell your child, are you getting in contact with your teacher? Is she giving you or he giving you feedback? This is going to be very important so that they understand that they would not have to go to some type of remote learning in summer school, and it would hold them back. And I want to make sure that our families understand that the incomplete happens when there's no type of completion of work or no type of engagement with the teacher. So that only happens then. All right, I know you might have some questions with that. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the next slide so that we could get to your questions and answers. I want you to also know that we partnered with Channel 7. So if you're looking for a supplemental educational programming, this is not going to be included for grades or anything, but you want something different. So I don't confuse this with grades. You just want something to give to your child. Then you could go ahead and use this. If you click on ABC 7.2, it'll show you a quick little newscast where ABC is telling you they partner with Chicago Public Schools, and you could go ahead and play that at your own time. But we have that for you. All you have to do is look up ABC 7.2. And here are the other mediums that you could look up. This starts today from 12 to 3. If you go to the next slide, it'll tell you what are they providing to my child. They will be providing science, literacy, and social science. It goes, these are the dates for this week. So today they did 3 to 5th, 6 to 8 in high school in science. Tomorrow they'll be doing English language arts all throughout to high school. And then Friday will be social science. So I want to make sure that you are aware of what ABC is partnering with CPS.
Thank you. So it seems like a couple of people have joined again, and I know that the grading policy it might be a little bit confusing at first. So if we just want to go back to the grid, that way folks can ask their questions from there.
Any questions regarding grades? I know
you can write your questions in the chat, or you can just unmute yourself and ask your questions.
And if it seems pretty self-explanatory and you want to ask later, you can do that as well too. Nudies, if you could explain this.
Yes, so I would like to make sure that you all follow us on our Twitter account for any updates or upcoming events. We have been offering virtual workshops through the Parent University. We've also been doing a lot of recognition of the things that our schools are doing to provide remote learning for their schools. So make sure you follow us on our Twitter account, which is at Network 8 CPS, in order to get those updates.
And one last thing before I let everyone go, I have a celebration in regards to, but at the same time, a little bittersweet. Nudies is going to share with us because today is Nudies' last day with our chat. She will be moving on to a new position. And so it just gives me some sadness to see her go, but at the same time, excited for her trajectory. And so, Nudies, if you want to say a couple of words to our parents.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Alvarez. So as the chief mentioned, this is going to be my last time here with our coffee chat. Well, the next one in the Spanish section will technically be my last coffee chat. But in terms of the English one, I'm going to be I'm not going to be the face manager for Network 8 anymore as of Friday. So if you have any questions in regards to PAC or things like that, you can still message me up until Friday, and then please reach out to Norma Celedon after that. I really appreciate the community that I've built here with Network 8 and all of you parents that have been very engaged with us, from Sor Juana to Nightingale to Brighton Park and Back of the Yards, all of our schools. You all have really made a long-lasting impression on me, and I really appreciate your leadership as parents. You have taught me a lot in my work, and I will be still with CPS. I will be going to sustainable community schools. So if your school happens to be a sustainable community school, that is where I will be. So yeah, you're in great hands here with Network 8. They're going to continue these chats. Make sure you reach out to your school and your principals to see other ways to continue to engage in your leadership. Right now, I know a lot of schools are working on their CIWP and approving those Title I funds for the following year. So make sure you engage in that process. Nothing but thank you. Thank you for allowing me to work with with our community. I'm here in Brighton Park. This is where I live, so you might still see me around in the neighborhood. But other than that, I look forward to see what else happens with Network 8 from my different perspective. So thank you for that.
Thank you so much, Nudies, for everything you have done, for your support for our network, and doing this for our children, for our community. We will miss you dearly. And parents, we are now, we'll be interviewing soon to have our new face manager and join us on these chats. So thank you. Please be safe, wash hands, and socially isolate. We will see you next week.